I bought a small stack of minor keys for real cheap, so let's talk about it. Before we get into it, don't forget to follow me here on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. More of that at the end. Before we jump into anything, I want to shout out my boy Panther Comics, Chris Kuiper, for throwing this in. He just gave it to me. I didn't even buy anything. He just gave it to me. So, this is a awesome issue of Journey Mister, first Radiation Man, and Radioactive Man. And this was a nice book to scratch off my list for my Journey runs. That was super exciting. But let's jump into, I went to the flea market this past Sunday, and I bought some books. And I found actually like what I could personally consider a personal grail, because I've been looking for it for at least 10 years ish, and I've never even seen one in person. I've only seen them online, so I consider that's personal growth for me. I'll get into that one last, but first of all, I got a nice little stack of, actually I know these is kind of cheap, I said dollar books. These were $2 books, so I think I got 15 twos is what it came out to be. So there's a couple minor stuff. There's some cool stuff like the X-Men 2099 #1 Gold Edition. There's about maybe 15, 20 bucks. But for $2, why the hell not? The Marvel versus DC versus Marvel comics. This is a direct. I didn't even check to see if it's a newsstand. This is the direct edition. He had the full run, but I think I have them. So I picked the #1 because it's a nice key. X-Men 193, that first Firestar. This is a nice little book. Nice, again, not a $10 book at best. This was probably a bad buy, because I didn't realize the Staples pop there. But I want to read it anyway, so why not? Marvel Presents #12, super early Guardians of the Galaxy. But as you can see there, there's a bit of a tear at the staple. But who cares? Then we got Hulk #418. Now, I probably should have bought this for $2, because I already have a couple copies. But it's first Talos, and for $2, I mean, it's probably still a $20 book, at least $10, so why not? And then these, Veritic, right? Anyway, it's the Jaguar God. These are super tough. This is a super tough series. I always love picking them up, and they have these beautiful Frank Frazetta covers. I'm a big Frazetta guy, and so I found 2 of those. I almost never see these in the wild. That's a classic one. Very Fire and Ice-esque, but these were also to pick up. So that was super exciting. And then, oh no, never mind. Let's go more books. Then we got probably the biggest key in here. Is a nice little minor book. Now I'm surprised there's a couple other guys that are going through the box before me. They were there right when I pulled up, and I know they know what they're doing. So I'm surprised they missed this because they'd finished by the time I got in my first box. But X-Force 116, first appearance of Ecstatic. There's a bunch of first appearances in there. That book was 40, 50 bucks at some point. It's probably like $20 now, but for $2, why not? And there's another one where I probably should have held up to find this in $1, but the Humanoids #1's awesome. And, you can argue it's maybe $10. It's just cool. I love the Humanoids. I love that toy line. It's such a super classic 80s toy line that's very underrated and super tough to get. And then there's this random foreign book in there. And it's from the 70s or the 80s. I think it's the 70s. I don't know. 1966, I'll be damned. It's older than I thought. Heroes del Oeste? I don't know. I don't speak, I think, Spanish. But I don't know. Maybe being more offensive than I'm trying to be. But for $2, I figured why not. And then this was a book. American 333 is that great John Walker key. And it's a newsstand. But when I was going through the boxes, I guess the guys that were there earlier, and they were doubling back for some stuff that they moved, and because there was a run of Captain America, and then there's a box next to it where it's just stuck in me. It was actually inside of a book, but in the back of a box, turned around. So I guess maybe they left it there because someone did say right after I picked it up, put it in my pile. Hey, anyone see a Captain America with a red cover? So that was I assume he planned that for himself to pick up later. I don't know, but it was in my stack already, and so, oh well. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And then I picked up some run filler issues of Infinity Gauntlet. This is always if you're a reseller, which I guess I am, this is a good run. Always put the other find them for $1 or $2 because, once you have the #1, it's really easy to put the rest of the run together. And it usually sells for about, $60 if they're all decent copies. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I've sold one in a while. But I'm always building those runs just because you could always sell Infinity Gauntlet. And then the last book I got off this guy was Batman 407, First Appearance of James Gordon Jr. at a newsstand. Nice little minor key. Yeah, not really worth a whole lot, but it's a cool little spec book. But all these, I have to believe, is 15 books, $30. That ecstatic pace for everything alone. So, and there's some cool books in there. And then a couple dollar bins. Like, I needed this Green Lantern issue. It's a great Atrocitus cover. I picked up... Ooh, I didn't see that this would actually was... Priest. Oh, well. It was $1. How about number 4? There's a couple first appearances in this one, I believe. But as you see, there's a... You can probably press it, actually, because it's not... it does break a little bit of color. Oh, well, who cares? It was $1. Maybe I'll throw it in my dollar bin. Maybe I'll press it. I don't know. And then, so I picked those two up off of one guy. Another guy had a Alpha Flight 106 second print. This is when North Star comes out as gay. And for the first time, I believe this is the first openly homosexual character in comics. Which, you know, that second print's tough to find. So I figured for $1, why not? And then this other guy, I picked up $8 books off of him. I hit his table up last week or the week prior. He has some pretty good stuff. He said he just bought a collection. He's bagging board and bringing them out and doing them all at $1. So, like this great GI Comet 155 or 155. It's cool. It's just a cool Joe Kuber cover. I like Joe Kuber for $1. Why not? This Boris Karloff Whitman issue, which number are you? You are 157. So I love this Boris Karloff run. It's just fun. And when I see him for $1, I try and pick him up. Just so I can, you know, so I think it's like 70 issues. It went a decent run. And still the Whitmans are kind of tough to find in that area. So we got Luke Cage Power Man 32, just a random Luke Cage issue for $1. Just Society of America 8, the B cover. And the B cover for number 9. I know this could be tough. Number 9, the fight card cover. Doctor Strange 61, part of the Dracula battle arc. I think there's some first appearances in that arc, but not that issue. But it's still probably $5-10. And I think I have a couple of them, but I always pick them up when I see them. And then first appearance of the second Amazing Man, and I believe his origin, in All-Star Squadron number 23. It's a cool little spec book. And then round it out, Legion of Superheroes number 298. First appearance of Amethyst. This is a spec book I talk about all the way back. I think my first ever spec talk video. If you haven't checked it out, go check that out. Might be a little bit dated in the way I do things. But, yeah, this is a really good book to find for really cheap. Because, again, $1. Why not? I see it in there all the time. So I always try and pick it up. Just because I think Amethyst has some potential to show up in the future. And more, even more stories as more an important character. Not even just being in live action. And, so, you know, I always do the series spec talk. We're talking about 5 to 10 different books under, you know, and one umbrella. And I think maybe are underrated, undervalued, or just worth knowing about. So go check that out next if you haven't already. And I got this random serial quarterly where they just kind of talk about old serials. I think they're like bios. I don't think they're reviews. I think it's just like a breakdown of the episode. But there's for like some Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers is my guy, and it was on some guy's table where everything was $1, and it kind of caught my eye. And I love Buck Rogers, so you know. As close that you'll ever get to with 1930s Buck Rogers comic for, you know, for me personally at least. So why not? And this other guy, he had just boxes of books, no price on them. He just said, bring them up. So I found some stuff. The first 6 books he said, I think $1 for. It's like this Web Spider-Man 21, awesome issue. Nice little book to test the waters. Magic the Gathering, the Shadow Mage number 1. I don't know if this is the first Magic the Gathering. I know there's a couple volumes and like one-shots around here. And it's a direct. But I think this is the first one, but I might be wrong. But I figured for $1, I'd gamble. The Terror from Beyond Space. This is number 3 and number 2. This is both the A covers. I've just never seen the series. I know the movie, but I've never seen the series. So 2 and 3, why not? And then this one might have been a mess up, although I could probably hair dry this off, hopefully. But Captain America 4 or 5 is another one of those that Cap Wolf run I always put together out of the dollar bins because it sells for a couple $. But I didn't realize there was a sticker right there. So hopefully I could peel it off with some tweezers, a blow dryer, and a little bit of luck. Maybe I'll leave my buddy who press and cleans and have him take it off instead of me. I don't know. Oh well, what do you get though? And then this awesome Neil Adams, Danny O'Neill reprint with I believe an original Neil Adams cover. Remember, like, that's the original cover. That's the new cover. Look how awesome that is. Original new Adams art. I believe this is like a 90s reprint. I remember a couple of these came in the store. We ended up selling for like 10, 15, 20 bucks a piece, something like that. So I saw this immediately, and I'm a new Adams guy. So I scooped it right up just because I didn't have it for my PC. So it's 6 of those at $1, and then he did, what was it, 6 of those, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, $6. 6 books. I think it ended up being 15 bucks because then he charged me 10 bucks for these 3 here. So I got Vassar Galacta #1, 2 copies. He had a bunch of copies. I took the best 2 copies I could find. He had like 6 or 7 copies. And I think that's always a great book to pick up when you pick it up cheap. And so for, $3.33, why not? Why not? It's just a cool book, and I think it has a lot of potential. It's already, 10, 15, maybe 20 bucks. Probably more 15 range. Both these are pretty nice copies. Should I set them CGC? Maybe, actually, because they are really sharp. Let's take a better look at them later. But we'll see GPA, though, see what they go for. And then another fairly sharp, probably not worth GPAing, but fairly sharp Shogun Warriors #1. This is, probably another $15, $20 copy. Newsstand. This is a great book. I love the Shogun Warriors. I'm almost done putting this run together. And I think they're awesome. I have the Godzilla. I don't have any of the other tall ones. I've got a couple metal die-cast 5-inchers. But I'm working on picking up a couple of the tall guys with the road shoot fist. Oh, the 5-inch shoot fists too. But still, that was for again $3.33. How could I leave that there? It is such an awesome book, and I will be checking that guy out next week because he said he might have more books. Now, on the last thing I picked up at the last table I went to, right at the end of this one avenue, this guy, he said he had a bunch of books he just got in, and he's not a comic book guy, but he says, and I quote, "I'm sick of selling $30 books for $2. So what he did is he put on a sticker on all the books, what he thinks they're worth, but that wasn't what he was charging. He was still saying, I want to give a good deals. So you had this amazing Creepshow book. As you know, Creepshow is a classic horror film with Stephen King stories adapted by George Romero. So you already got 2 big names in the style of EC horror from that pre-code era. So none of it's actually pre-code stories, but it's all done and stylized like those books. So it's a mix both my favorite worlds, especially pre-code comics. I love pre-code comics. And then, 2 of the biggest horror creators there was, especially at that point. And this issue has a Jack Kamen art on the cover. Jack Kamen cover. It's beautiful. And the interior is art by Bernie Wrightson. You got 4 major guys on 4 lines. And he said, now this is a tough book. I've been looking for this one for years. So he said, put 7 on. He said he even saw some copies go as high as $120 online. I haven't looked up this book in a while because I've been just trying to find it in person. He might be right. That might be very, very, very true. Got this awesome back cover. Now, he said he had 70 on it. He says he remember seeing it sell recently for $120. He told me $25. Done and done. No questions asked. I had tried 20. Would you do 20? Nope. 25. I took it. I've been looking for this book forever. I've never even seen one in person. So this was very cool. Very cool pickup. Beautiful Jack Kamen cover. I got to get a board in this. But and then this amazing artwork on the interior by Bernie Wrightson. I have not yet had the shot to... Oh, man. Look at that. I don't want to max that, but man. Look at that. That is beautiful. I have not had the chance to read this yet. I'm actually going to read this when I'm done recording. So, actually, it's fun. So it is. It is an adaptation of the stories. So you got the crate, you got Father's Day, and then you have... what was the final story? The Creep Up On You, and then is there the raft in the first movie, or is it the second movie? Maybe that was the second movie. Either way, it is awesome. Cool adaptation of the movie. I've never seen before in person. Done by Bernie Wrightson. It is absolutely beautiful. Super excited to pick it up, and so it made the trip worth it. But let me know down in the comments below. What did you pick up this weekend? Did you find anything good at those flea markets, at your LCS, maybe on Facebook Marketplace? Find anything exciting? Let me know down below. And until next time, don't forget to follow me here on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. I'm posting stuff here multiple times a day. I got 2 to 3 shorts coming up daily. I've got 2 videos coming up a week at least. I try to be at 2 videos a week. And of course, on Facebook and Instagram, posting throughout the week. Got a series called Tales of the Hunt, where I talk about, actually hunt for these books, what I'm doing out and about, what I didn't pick up, what didn't make it in the haul, stuff like that. So that goes on Instagram. I post on Facebook all the time. I got Fandoms Unleashed, a Facebook group where you see behind the scenes look at comics, great discussions, multiple posts in there a day, all kinds of stuff. You go in there, post about what you bought, what you think, what movie you just saw, what comic you just read, whatever. And so we got all kinds of stuff. We got polls for upcoming videos. Probably gonna be another poll coming up soon. For an upcoming video. I know 5 Image Keys just won the poll and is coming up. Actually, it should be out by now. So go check that out. I'll link that in the description. Until next time, peace.